Hey guys, so today we are headed to the therapy center for Makayla for her wrists, as well as we are going to be ordering her a new wheelchair. So I am stuck at construction right now and I have to be there in 45 minutes and it takes roughly, I want to say 40 minutes to get there. But I'm already like 10 minutes out, so we should be good. But yeah, so Damien is with Dad at Mom and Dad's, and Mom is not feeling well today. I think she's got some sort of virus that's going around. Kyle was off for outbreak from work for the same virus, so I guess Mom ended up catching it from her work. So she's homesick, and then Papa and Damien are just kind of hanging out, playing outside. So I'll head there. I'm supposed to be there for 1. It's 12:15 now, and then my second appointment is at 2. So I don't know if I'll be able to film in there. I'll try, but it's a small therapy center, and I don't think they would appreciate me filming. So we'll see how this goes, but I'll kind of, if I can get clips, or if I can just explain it later, so I'll let you know. We're finally through. They're repaving the roads, I guess, before winter. We are here, and I'm just gonna get baby girls out. I'm gonna grab her tray for her wheelchair. She's actually got a tray that we hardly ever use. And then her bag. What do you think, beautiful girl? Look at your ear. Well, we're here. This is what it looks like. I always thought this was cute. They have a wall. Maybe I can stand up. Here we go. There we go, beautifuls. Huh? Hey, so beautifuls. And this is the tray I was talking about. So it has these arm blocks, so it'll hold her arms forward, because she normally likes her arms down like that. So I know I'm bugging you, huh? I'm bugging you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, beautiful girl. I love you. So beautiful. I see you looking. Do you see the pretty wall behind Mommy? Yeah. You're so beautiful. You got your ear all folded. Huh? Your ear was all folded. Just finished our first appointment, and we're going to be moving on to the second one to get a new chair. Well, we're not getting the chair today. We have to apply for the new chair. Okay, so we're out, and I'm going to head home. Damien, I think, got picked up already by Kyle, so I'll explain at home a little bit more what went on. I forgot to mention, I fed Makayla before we left so that she wouldn't be too late on her feed, because it's 10 after 4 now and she usually gets fed at 3, so she was a little late. I think she got fed around 3:30, 3:45, so she's a little late. We'll just push back her nighttime feed, and then I forgot to run it, so I had to pull over and run it quickly. But yeah, so I'm stuck at construction again at the spot I was earlier. Oh my goodness, are you talking? Are you talking, beautifuls? The beautiful girl. Oh, your head looks so funny. Why is it all crooked? It's all crooked. You're so beautiful, girl. Yes, you are. So beautiful. Look at the colors already on these trees. It's crazy. Okay, so we're home. Makayla's on the couch. Damien's actually having a nap, and I think Kyle got woken up when I got home. He, I guess, fell asleep. So I just wanted to kind of explain what happened today. The first appointment was for her Botox injections. So the other week when you saw the Botox treatment video, She got Botox in her arms. So 2 needles were for her wrists, 2 needles were for her forearm, and 2 needles were for her biceps. So basically what happens is the Botox is supposed to loosen the muscle, and then you have to do therapy in order to keep that muscle loosened. And then you're able to do Botox 3 to 6 months afterwards if you need to. So this therapy is to help loosen her wrists, so that way they're not contracted anymore. So they'll be like this. And then the other one for her forearms and her biceps are just to help keep them loose, because those aren't bad. It's mainly her wrists that we need to work on. So we did some therapy today, and basically all you do is just bring her wrist to neutral, and you hold it there and try and stretch it, even rub like her wrist there, and then like, because her fingers are tight as well, try and bring them out like this. So basically we want to open them up as much as we can, but we probably won't get them flat like this because they're too far gone. I know there is possibility of Botox for the fingers, but the doctor that did her Botox in her arms will not do her fingers. So that was the first appointment, and our occupational therapist wants us to do therapy for a few minutes every hour. That's not going to happen. I'm going to do probably 3 or 4 times a day, but longer periods. So like 20 to 40 minutes maybe. And then we are hoping to get wrist braces that will help hold them open, which I do have. I'll actually insert the video up here of the wrist braces that we got originally, and then we got another one that worked a little bit better, which I can insert a picture of. And yeah, so hopefully we're going to be getting new braces that are more cushiony, so they're not hard plastic like the ones that we have. They're actual, like, they're molded inside, however on the outside they're like fabric and cushion. So hopefully we can get that. However, they're like $300 each, I think. And we have to try and get funding for that. So we have to like do some figuring out of where we're going to get funding, and then also how much they're going to cost and that type of thing. So that is our first appointment. And then our second appointment was for her seating clinic, and that is where we talk about her wheelchair and make sure that it's working for her. And we knew this time around that she would need a new chair because she grows so quickly. Her first chair, like way back when, was supposed to last 5 years. It only lasted 2 years. This chair was supposed to last 5 years, and I think it just made the 5-year mark, which is pretty good. So we're happy about that. There's a lot of adjustments that we're going to have to do to the new chair. So all the different accessories and what is very important for Makayla as of right now and going forward in the future. So I'm going to actually take a picture of her chair, explain a little bit of what we want. So first off, the handlebars sometimes are too low, so we're hoping to get higher handlebars so that way it's easier on our backs. Secondly, the headrest is fine. We've loved that one. We might get a bigger one depending on the size available, but for the most part we love that headrest. Her back cushion for her back is too rigid, so we are hoping to get a custom fit back seat. The seat that she's sitting on is a Rojo cushion, which has air in it, and we really like that one. So because it's an air-filled one, we're hoping you can get ones that are either side-to-side versatility, so you can make one side higher than the other, or more firm than the other. But they also have a Rojo cushion that has the 4 quadrants. So we're hoping to get that one. And it's of course going to be bigger. And then on the front of her seat, where her legs and knees sit, that there's a little bump up in between her legs. We're hoping to get that higher because it's too low. Her legs just kind of sit on top of it. The straps are all good. The laterals, which are the pieces that hold her sides, are too far out as of right now, so we actually need them to come in to hold her more straight up and down. And then also her footrest does not really work for her. We would like a custom fit one, because the footrest kind of goes straight down in a 90 degree, and Makayla likes her legs at an angle, as well as her feet are not like at a 90 degrees. They're more of like an opened wide angle. So I think that's it. Oh, there's a few other things. We are still keeping tilt, we're still keeping recline. We like the foot brake that it has. We like the foot tilt that it has. But we were hoping to get like a shelf or like a stand for her oxygen bottle. We're not sure if we're going to be able to do that. So these are all things that we have to kind of go through and make sure that we can order and get. This chair that she owns right now was covered by the government, and it was $10,000. And the one that we're going up to is an adult one of the same type of chairs. So this is the Zippy Iris, and then I can't remember what the other one is called, but it's still an Iris chair, and we really liked it. Our vendor is awesome. We've always liked her. She's been our vendor for a very long time. So I think that's all for the update. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely make another video. I'll make another video when we get the new chair, and hopefully you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, because I know it's a lot of information to keep up with. So I obviously wasn't allowed to film in there. They've actually never had that slideshow picture that I showed saying that you're not allowed to take pictures, so I'm glad I saw that, because I'm not allowed to take pictures without permission. We are home. We gotta wake Damien up soon, and I'm actually going to go do Makayla's physio, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's really not that complicated, but I'll show you anyway so you know what I'm talking about. So the way my therapist explained how the Botox works is that they inject the Botox into the muscles that are constantly working to keep her wrist like this, or any muscle like tight, and then hopefully the idea is to loosen those so that the other muscles can become stronger. When you open that, you're working the other muscles. There are muscles that run all the way from like pretty much her elbow up into her fingertips, and that's why all the needles are up by her elbow. But they can do actual injections into the wrist area, because there is a muscle that runs like basically my my watch. So it'll run that way, and she actually thought the doctor was gonna do those ones, but I guess the doctor decided it would be best to do the ones in her elbow first and try that, and then maybe next round, in 3 to 6 months time, they'll do the ones in the wrist. And then I think I mentioned before, but you can do ones in your fingertips, but we'll see maybe in the future about that. So she's doing so good. Yeah, she's doing so good. You're so beautiful looking around, huh? You got your pretty bow in your hair today. You look so beautiful and wide-eyed. Yes, you do. You look so beautiful and wide-eyed. So I'm about to do her physio. or her occupational therapy. And I'm just gonna show you kind of what I do, or what we're supposed to do. What? You alright? What's going on? So basically, her wrists are like that, if you can see. And what we want to do is straighten them. So we want to go as much as possible, and that's about the most we're gonna get for her. So normally neutral is like this, and for her it's a little bit less. So we want to get it as neutral as possible. So all we have to do is I set all of my fingers here basically, and I take my thumb and I put it in her fingers and I push against her wrist like this. Oh, I see him. So my thumb is in her fingers here. Don't touch, Damien, please. So that is what you do, and all we do, I should show you with this wrist, but I basically rub right here just to help loosen it. So that's all it is I basically hold her and I'll rub on the inside here. So when we get wrist braces, which I do have some here, this is our one of the second ones that we tried, and these were the first ones. So these are the ones I actually have a video on. I'll have that linked in the iCard. But this one, this goes on like this, and her fingers come up here, and then you can see her thumb will go in this part here, and this wraps around her. This works okay, however, because it's hard plastic, it can be irritating. You can end up with pressure sores. So we wanted to go with like a soft fabric one, but still has firmness to it. So, because it does need to hold open her wrist, and she can be pretty strong. So I will put this on her. I actually had them on her this morning, this one and then the newer one. So this one has a little bit nicer Velcro. It's got padding on the inside where the Velcro is, and then it's also got a piece of padding on the inside. So this one, her fingers go through this hole here, and then her fingers sit on that part there, and then her thumb is actually loose. So this one worked well because it uses the back side of her arm here to hold everything, because you're pulling this instead of pushing from this side. So this one worked well. It's just, again, the hard plastic. So we're gonna try and figure out some wrist braces. So I did have that one and this one on this hand, and then this one went on this hand. So I will do this for probably, I don't know, what do you think, Bum? We'll go 10 minutes because she did have a lot done today with our occupational therapist. So I'll do 10 minutes on this side, 10 minutes on that side, and then I'll put the wrist braces on her after that for probably 10 to 15 minutes. And then that'll be a good 20 to 25 minutes of her stretching. So the other thing is that our occupational therapist wants us to do is, if we can't hold her hand like this all the time, what are you doing? So if I can't hold her like this, or even if, like, I did do her stretching but we want to do more, we can take some washcloths or something round so that she can hold on to it, and then that way that'll help bring her fingers out, because right now they're so tight. We want them to loosen off. So the other thing we found today that we hadn't noticed before was that Makayla, because she lays down, her arm is always like this, so it's like out like this. So her elbow is actually out instead of like this. So normally you're like this and her elbow is like this. So we want to try and bring that in and correct that. So I just remembered that now. So I kind of have to hold her like this, but it's so difficult because she lays down. So, and when we were doing her seating, we noticed that her laterals, the pieces that hold in her chest, are not positioned correctly because of the type of seating she has. So hopefully with the new seating, we'll be able to fix that. So I'm just rubbing her elbow on the inside to help with the stretching, make it feel nicer. You're doing so good. You were doing such a good girl today. Yes, you were. So basically what I'm doing right now is having an arm wrestle with her. Right? We're arm wrestling. It's not even therapy. We're just arm wrestling. It doesn't hurt, does it, Mom? Hmm? So she's never had any pain because of this, which is good. Because that's always our number one concern, is pain and comfort level. So she does go a little, I don't know if it'll even pick up on the camera, but she does go a little red from holding her, but the red marks never turn into sores, so that's a good thing. So it doesn't hurt to do this. It's just red marks. She just got really sensitive white skin. Huh? You got white skin. So I'm always pushing back on her hand. I'm almost pulling on this part of her wrist, but never enough to hurt her. Oh my goodness. Somebody tired? I think she was starting to fall asleep before. One more minute to go. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. Thank you. And we're gonna take her wrist brace. And you just basically take these off. I just attach them to the back instead. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take that little thumb and put it in the thumb part. And go like that. And then you just take, oh, I took it off. Just go like that. And like that. So I'll leave that on for 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes. And that's what her one wrist brace looks like. And now I'll do the other side. So this is the worst one of the two. So she doesn't get as much of a neutral. So this one we have to work on. It has always been the one that's not as flexible. So this one, because of the way we're positioned, I'm just kind of holding my palm in her hand. Again, like we would be arm wrestling. So I have her thumb and my thumb, and this one, her arm is not back, so it's pretty much neutral. So we don't have to work on that too much, but we still don't want it to get worse. So, right? So today's a little screwed up because we didn't get home till like 4:35. So I'm going to be doing this hopefully with each feed. I'll do it before her feed times. And then that way she'll get it 3 times a day. You can definitely feel how tight this one is compared to the other one. But then again, because I'm working from the other side, if she was laying on her other side, it may feel a little bit looser. I think this one needs a nap. This one had a nap. Daddy had a nap. Jude had a nap. Now Mommy needs a nap. But it's too late now. This muscle along here feels really tight. All along there. Right there. You can see. Okay, now I'm gonna put the other one on. So this one, you'll notice that it doesn't fit properly anymore, and that's because we need new ones. So this one, her fingers go through here, like so. I'm gonna make sure you get all the fingers, and then what you do is you make sure it's right in there. Her thumb stays out, and you're using this to pry it back. So it doesn't fit correctly anymore. So we're gonna put that one as much as we can, and then there's a space in here where her arm should be. So you can see there's space and there shouldn't be. And then this one has space in between where her wrist is and where this piece is. So we need new ones that kind of fit to her nicer. So this one, you can see her thumb has a position, and then this one, her thumb is loose. So these are 2 different trial runs basically, and we found this one works better for the wrist, but it doesn't necessarily work better for the thumb, and this one doesn't work better for the wrist, but it works well for the thumb. So as you can see, this strap is only holding her wrist, whereas this one, the rigid plastic, is holding her wrist open. So, and then the nice soft piece is on her wrist. So we'll see. So, and then you can fix the little fingers like that. Just like that. And the same with this one. But these fingers aren't as tight on this side. This is her better hand. So, and it'll be another 5 minutes or so for this one. But if you notice, I tried to keep her arm twisted inward like that instead of outward. That'll help the elbow. So I think I might just hold it for the next 5 minutes. So today is Monday, and hopefully you'll be seeing this Tuesday if I get it edited. if I start editing now, after I'm done this, I should have it saved by tonight, and then I'll be able to upload overnight, and hopefully you'll be able to see it tomorrow morning, which is Tuesday. So if not, Wednesday morning. And yeah, so I'll just take these off after the time is up. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and give it a thumbs up for Makayla being in it, because I know you guys love her. I know you guys miss her when she's not in the videos, but we still have another little kiddos running around that we gotta look after too. So we try and equal out our time between the two, and you might not always see us with her. So I try and dedicate videos just for her, and I thought this was a pretty important video. So it's also something I wanted to remember. And yeah, so like I said, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.